Meaning, purpose, and justification come from the top down, not from the bottom up. Scientists are just not spiritually aware enough to realize that consciousness must be explained at the quantum level.
It is very popular to say that scientists are doing something that is qualitatively different than a search for truth and meaning. But physicists are openly aware of the epistemological problems when it comes to claiming that they may form a theory of everything. Ironically, philosophers and mystics are also subject to the very same problems from epistemology.
Wittgenstein would emphasize the reason that you use Care Bears to communicate philosophy. You are trying to bewitch our intelligence through means of computer-generated language.
It is not as if the scientists don't know that there are philosophers on the other side of campus, or that they are unaware of what they are writing. The biggest revolutions in science always correspond to a crucial break in our epistemology. Prior to Newton, things happened in nature for divine reasons. Angels pushed the planets around the sun. The idea that the cosmos follows physical laws that are universal is nearly self-evident today. But in Newton's lifetime the idea of laws was radical. Physics as a search for laws is an epistemic stance.
Deism was a theology that held God as a first cause that put the cosmos into motion. The cosmos was a kind of glorified clock.
That idea descended directly from Newton. It was a direct, epistemological descendant of Newtonian science. Christians in the late 18th century, including the Founding Fathers, were trying, with all their might, to square their Christianity with the physical evidence known at the time. The second break in epistemology was arguably the biggest break in human knowledge since the invention of sliced bread. That was when Darwin claimed that humans are the product of billions of years of natural selection.
Daniel Dennett.
Yes. Nothing in biology makes sense without the theory of natural selection. And everything in biology makes sense with the theory.
But the phrase, "it makes sense," how can that be used as a measuring stick for veracity? I ask this question epistemically.
If you intend to leverage that question against scientists, we should be able to leverage the same question against mystics. Fair is fair. The mystic uses first-person experience as a guide to knowledge.
Consciousness does not make sense in light of natural selection.
Consciousness is a byproduct of reentrant connections between neurons of the thalamus and neurons in the cortex.
A byproduct. Consciousness has no identifiable biological function in humans. Our genetic material could be propagated successfully without it. Successful reproduction is all that needs to happen in the epistemological climate of Darwin. Do you agree that it has no biological function?
I agree to that. The lack of outward function of consciousness is what motivates the mystic to declare that biology is too large of a category to explain it. They point lower, to physics, or lower still to quantum mechanics.
So because scientists cannot identify the function of consciousness, you conclude that it must be a byproduct. That is circular reasoning.
You are right, Warpaint Bear. That is circular logic.